Welcome back to the Detroit Sports Bettors Picks and Plays show. I am Matt Kowalis from Detroit Sports Bettors, and we are now in week 12 of the NFL season. In week 11, the video finished 3-2, so keeping the winning weeks going. We also put out a Thanksgiving Day slate video, which finished 3-3. But again, brings me to another point because it's important to follow Detroit Sports Bettors on all forms of content because the video again went 3-3, but I changed one of those plays on Twitter. Once I found out that Alvin Kamara was going to miss, originally I had Saints plus 6.5. Then I switched it to Bills minus 6.5. Once I heard the Kamara news and Ingram was missing, just too much going on in that backfield and too much of the load for Trevor Siemian. Just he's not that player. So again, the Bills won, I believe 31-6, covered that easily. I also added Tony Pollard over 62.5 yards. Again, this was all on the Detroit Sports Bettors Twitter, which you will find below. But again, that hit easily. And we ended up finishing the day 5-2 on the 3-game slate. So hopefully some of you guys got those picks in place. But with that being said, we are now 38-15 on the year, not including the Thanksgiving Day video. I just did that as a little bonus. Figured a lot of people are going to be in front of the TV all day, and they'd probably be wanting to make some bets just like me. So I had a pretty successful day. Hopefully you guys got some of those picks in place and had a successful day as well. But again, with that being said, let's get into week 12 picks and play. And we are starting with the Tennessee Titans going on the road, facing off against the New England Patriots. Right now, this is a New England Patriots -7 spread. And the over-under for this one is 44. And my play for this one actually is the under 44. With that being said, a big reason for this has to do with the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are getting a +7 spread. If I were to side one way or the other, it would probably be with that +7 spread. But right now, that is a team without Derrick Henry, as we know. You know, Julio Jones is out, as we know. And A.J. Brown is currently questionable once again. If A.J. Brown misses this game, this is the exact same team that lost to the New York Jets earlier in the season. Okay, so I don't expect this team to put up many points. Vegas really doesn't either. Vegas has their team total at 19.5 points. Personally, I like the under on that 19.5. I think they get around 17. I think they really struggle in New England where it's a little bit colder. It could snow a little bit. This New England team as well is due for a letdown. They are due for a letdown. That's why I'm staying away from this spread. I'm not too confident with either side. But one thing that I do like is that under 44. I think that's a very good play in this one. Because again, both teams do not give up very many good plays. New England Patriots has one of the better defenses in all of football when it comes to the run and the pass. They're very consistent on both sides. So, and then in addition to that, I do think a letdown is possible here. Tennessee doesn't let up very many big plays. Their pass defense has gotten better week by week. Their run defense is right in the middle as well. So again, I don't expect this to be a high scoring game. I think this is lower scoring. So I'm going to be going with the under 44 in that one. Moving on, we have the Carolina Panthers going on the road to face off against the Miami Dolphins. And for me, I'm going to be going back to the Carolina Panthers at -2. Yes, I know. I totally get it. They burned us last week, but I think it is time for the Dolphins to have that letdown because the Dolphins have been running too high. They, especially as of late, winning 3 in a row. Recently coming off the win against the Jets, you know, they beat the Ravens as well. So they've been playing solid. They beat the Texans. But one of the biggest factors in this game is going to be that Miami Dolphins offensive line. Okay, that offensive line is one of the worst in all of football. And now they are going against the Carolina Panthers, who have the 3rd most sacks in all of the NFL. Okay, I see this being a very long day for Tua. In addition to that, the Dolphins, in games that Tua has started, the Dolphins have scored in 4 of 6 opening drives, going down and getting touchdowns. And the Carolina Panthers are first in the NFL in first quarter defense, averaging 1.67 points against. Okay, so this is kind of a clash of 2 different styles. I think Carolina gets this one. The defense is just better. Christian McCaffrey really hasn't gone off yet. I think Cam Newton is going to start once again. And again, Cam Newton did an okay job against the Washington football team. It wasn't really that bad. I personally just didn't expect Washington to score that many points. I think this defense gets back to being who they are. I think, again, they are one of the tougher defenses in all of the NFL. I saw Cam Newton get it going a bit. I saw DJ Moore get a touchdown. I think that continues, especially against this Miami Dolphins team. And then again, the over-under for this one, I believe, is 42. So I would probably lean the under on that one as well. So, but my pick for this one will be the Carolina Panthers -2. I think Tua could potentially be in for a very long day. And then also, if I were to lean on any side, I would go the under 42 for that total. Moving on to the Minnesota Vikings going against the San Francisco 49ers. And I am going to stay with the hot. I mean, both teams are hot here, but I think the Vikings have shown that they're going to be potentially more consistent. I think they've gotten over that hump. They had almost every single loss or win this year has been very, very close. So that's why I just don't mind taking them with points. The Vikings are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 road games. And again, they're known for playing people very tight. They've been playing good football or solid football at least all year. And now they're just taking it that next step further. They have Dalvin Cook. They have Justin Jefferson. They have Adam Thielen. Conklin has even been getting it going as of late, that tight end from Central Michigan University. And now they're facing the San Francisco 49ers team who, yes, they beat that Rams where the Rams just came out incredibly flat. And then they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road last week. So I think this is going to be a step up for the San Francisco 49ers. I think this Minnesota Vikings team has been playing very good football. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the best team in the NFL that does not have a winning record. They are 5-5 currently on the season. And yes, they are getting the +3. And I would side with that +3, especially if it somehow gets to +3.5. But this is another one. We called this a couple weeks ago with the Vikings. This is another one. I like the Vikings to potentially get that money line and to get this win outright. The wins that the San Francisco 49ers have had this season have not been that great of wins. The only team with a winning record that they have beaten are the LA Rams. And, if you guys can recall that game, they came out very flat. They did not get the best Rams team. I understand the San Francisco 49ers are getting healthier and healthier every single week. I think this game has more potential to be a shootout. If anything, I would lean the over 49. But for me, I like this Vikings +3. I like how the Vikings have been playing football. They're playing more confident. That defense is getting more and more confident. So again, I like the Minnesota Vikings +3. And if I were to lean any side here, I would lean with the over 49. All right, moving on. We have the New York Football Giants at home getting +3.5, and they are going against the Philadelphia Eagles. For me, it's just kind of simple. This is a division rival. The New York Giants just coming off a rough loss. And again, I think they just fired Jason Garrett, who was their offensive coordinator. And if you watch that New York Giants versus the Tampa Bay Bucks game, the play calling was just terrible. They had wide receivers running into each other. They were on the short side of the field and they kept rolling out on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. I think I screamed at the TV a couple times because I had the Giants in that game. And that's the type of play calling that drives me nuts. When you shorten the field, you're already on the short side of the field with the hash, and then you roll out even more. So then you have a quarter of or a third of the field rather than 3/3 or the whole entire field, whatever it may be. I don't know. I've just never agreed with that type of play calling, and it really showed. Daniel Jones really struggled. The New York Giants struggled altogether as a team. But again, they're now getting Sterling Shepard back. They're going to have Kadarius Toney, Sterling Shepard again. They'll have Kenny Galladay. So Darius Slayton, Saquon Barkley should have another week to get under his feet. Again, do I think the Giants will win this game? I mean, it's possible. It's in play. But I like getting that +3.5 even more. I love having that hook like we've talked about. I don't think, the Philadelphia Eagles have been playing very good football. But again, when you've been playing very good football and you've won a couple games in a row, that makes you prone to that letdown spot. So again, this is the New York Giants football team who is going to be playing at home. They just had a disappointing outing. against the Tampa Bay Bucks. One of their coaches got fired because of it. So generally when that happens, you come to play a little bit more. So again, I'm going to be taking the New York Football Giants plus 3.5. This isn't one that has a ton of stats and statistics to back it. More so because the New York Giants have been one of those teams who they really haven't been fully healthy the whole season. And this might be one of those first games where they have a chance to be healthy. You know, we've had a sample size of what they can potentially do together. So hopefully they come out, they start clicking a little bit more. And yeah, I'll be taking the New York Giants here at plus 3.5. Moving on to our last game of the week. And this one is going to be a Monday Night Football game. So again, if you are not a member of Detroit Sports Bettors on Facebook, I cover the Monday Night Football games. I read an article on it every Monday Night Football matchup and every Thursday Night Football match. So check that out. But for this one, I will be on the Seahawks once again at plus 1.5, or just go the money line. I do think they're going to win this one outright. A lot of this just comes down to, I don't think the Seahawks are going to lose 4 games in a row. I don't think Russell Wilson is going to do that. This team is 11-4 against the spread as road underdogs. They are 36-16 against the spread after a straight up loss, and they are 4-1 against the spread on Monday night. For me, this team is just too talented. You know, this is Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Gerald Everett, and who's been coming on as of late. I just think that's too many weapons going against a Washington football team who they really struggle in terms of pass defense. That is their number one weakness as a team. Their pass rush, they lost Chase Young, which was a huge loss for the team as the season. Montez Sweat is questionable again. So, you know, they have a lot going on with that defensive line. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get the pressure necessary on Russell Wilson. And even if they do, I think this might be one of those games we see old school Russell Wilson where he's able to escape the pocket, create plays with his legs, and then hit Lockett or Metcalf down the field. I think this more has potential to be a shootout. I actually think this could be a higher scoring game. But again, I like the Seattle Seahawks in this one, and I will cover it for Monday night in the Detroit Sports Bettors Facebook page as well. Okay. Again, I'm just betting on the Seahawks to get this right, to right the ship. 4 games in a row is a lot for Russell Wilson. And if you're comparing Russell Wilson to Taylor Heineke, are their teams that different? No, I don't think so. I think they're similar in terms of talent level. I think the Seahawks actually have more talent on offense. So that's the team I'm going to be going with. I'm going to be going with the Seattle Seahawks, and I'm going to be going with the better quarterback in Russell Wilson. They're plus 1.5, or take the money line in this one. But that's it, guys. 5 picks for week 12. Like always, let's go over them one last time. We have the Tennessee Titans versus the New England Patriots. We have the under 44 in that one. We have the Carolina Panthers against the Miami Dolphins. We have the Panthers -2. Minnesota Vikings going against the San Francisco 49ers. We have the Minnesota Vikings +3. The New York Football Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles. We have the New York Giants +3.5. And then the Seattle Seahawks going on the road to face off against the Washington football team. We have the Seattle Seahawks +1.5. And if you tuned into my Thanksgiving video, I talked about the list at the end of the video. Too many people were fast forwarding to the end and just getting the list, taking the picks and plays and going on their way, which, hey, I totally understand that. I've done that to people's videos plenty of times in the past, but YouTube does have an algorithm that kind of, I guess, sees how long people watch the video, and then that kind of determines how they put the video out. So I need people kind of tuning in a little longer, or hook it up with the likes and comments. Like I said, we've hit 50 likes on a couple of these videos. I hate even saying this stuff, but it's just how it is. Hit the 50 likes and like 15 comments, something like that. I'll put the list in every single video if we hit that. Okay. Or just do me a favor, share it, hook me up with some subscribers. If this keeps growing and the more views and whatnot, I'll put the list back in because I totally get where everyone's coming from. But again, week 12, picks and plays. I am Matt Kowalis from Detroit Sports Bettors. Check us out on all forms of content. Good luck this weekend. I am out.